Journey Home with Gina. We talk about finance, real estate, and building wealth. This is chapter 3. And in chapter 3, we're going to talk a little bit about house hunting, right? Selecting the realtor, which we talked about in the last chapter, and then some of the things that go into that. So you're pre-approved, we've got you done, you're now house hunting. It's really interesting in that a lot of the times the realtors are out and, you know, maybe they're looking in your best interest always, I'm hoping, but let's say I've got you pre-approved, you're at $150,000 purchase price, and a $200,000 house shows up and they want to show it to you. Something I just really want you to know is that you should know is that the realtors are paid commission and they're paid on the sales price of the house. So, you know, it's in their best interest to get you higher. And if there's a way we can, I'll make sure we get there. But your budget is so important. And so that's why the dream team I talked about earlier is really important, in that you understand that there is a budget and it's not emotional. And so if the realtor is putting pressure on you, that's a red flag. Talk about red flags. You know what? When we do certain loans, like an FHA loan, it's important that you understand that in an FHA loan, the appliances, doors, windows, all have to be operable. You cannot buy a home with an FHA loan and have, for instance, the doors and windows not be able to operate. The windows can't open and shut, or the appliances aren't there, or they don't work. So when we're looking for houses, it's really also put it in your list that the agent knows what kind of loan you're doing. And I usually talk to the agent and talk to them because remember, we're their team already. But that those are red flags in the home. No flooring. Or red flags in a home also could be just location. You know, is it back in a busy street? Maybe that doesn't bother you. Maybe you work at night and you sleep in the day and it's not as important, or vice versa, like whatever their surroundings are. Or, you know, is it close to a school? You know, traffic, stuff like that. Those are things that your realtor, and that's their lane, will help you with. But just be mindful that some of the houses when you're buying do not conform to certain loans that we're doing. So it's really important we talk about those things. Oh gosh. Okay, so speaking of budget, payment versus purchase price. This is really important. So that's why I really advocate that you work with a team that's available after hours and on the weekends, because you're talking about payment structures versus purchase price. When you look at a purchase price of something, depending on how much money you're putting down, those numbers will go up and down. It's just a formula, and I will, in one of the subsequent videos, go through the formula so we can just get that out of the way and you have access to those things. It's not rocket science, so I'll make sure that it's easy for you. But when you're looking at a home, especially if you're on Zillow, be mindful that the purchase price and the payment are completely different depending on what kind of down payment you're putting. Is there mortgage insurance on there? Is there an HOA? We have to really look at all these things, the tax rate in that area. So when you're shopping, keep those two things in mind. And then, you know, working with agents. It's really important. I work with agents. They're my clients. They're my dream team too, right? So I'm working with you and them, like I said in the previous video. When you're working with an agent, I really suggest you choose someone that's working in your best interest, that understands your budget, works with the lender directly, and has a great communication. I may not be in the car with you. I probably won't see you. You'll be shopping when I'm not there. I mean, that's the realtor's job, right? You're going to be with that person. It's so important that you're working with the right agent that understands the area, understands your dreams, your budget, the lender, that we're all connected. You don't want to be put in a position where you go make an offer, you lose your earnest money deposit because they wrote an offer that was too high, you put money down, and you didn't get approved for the loan. Not to scare you, but that can happen. Be mindful when you're picking your agent that they do this as a full-time profession. It's okay that they might have a side hustle. Times are tough right now. But if they're a primary barista and then they dabble in real estate, everyone's got to start somewhere. I'm all about it. But make sure you have a really seasoned loan officer then. I will talk about some of these things again a little bit deeper, but this is just a quick chapter on now we're shopping, what are you doing next? I will go deeper on your payment and formulas for those in another chapter.